So, it's been a while since I've turned on the camera and spoken, and I got really light, so it's getting cozy in a way. Usually I have an idea of what I want to talk about, but I feel like something is really on my chest, and I didn't know that this was something that was really a problem or something that was deep down. Situation happened that I had to do some reflecting in a way. So I just want to bring up the topic mainly that people say you have to manifest a guy, manifest a man. You manifest basically the partner, the person that you want to be with. And something that people don't explain or don't talk about is, are you the type of person that this person that you're manifesting or bringing into existence, speaking into existence, are you that type of person that you want or that is best for them? Because a lot of people think I want someone who's that, who's just all these best qualities they want in someone, but they don't think, am I the person that this person would be looking for if they were looking for a long-term commitment or a long-term partner? And a lot of the times, if you're being honest, it's gonna be no. And that's hard to say. That's hard to admit that you're not the person that deserves the person of your dreams or deserve the person that you achieve in life, that you want to achieve. But also, it's a lot of honesty to say that you're not. Something about me is I've always thought like I've never been a horrible person. I think I'm a decent person. Yes, I have flaws. Yes, I have probably said or did a few things that I'm not proud of, but I would never say that I've been a horrible person, as if I treat people with disrespect or being rude or just being a genuinely miserable person to others. I've never been that, but I realized that I haven't completely gotten over certain things from my past. I've realized that I haven't gotten over ways that certain people treat me. I realized that these past relationships, as in, it doesn't have to be romantic, because I don't have much romantic relationships, let me be honest. But definitely like these past relationships with family and friends and few lovers, that I haven't gotten over that. I haven't completely gotten over how they treated me, how I felt in the moment, and honestly messing things up in the present tense. And sometimes you need to see someone else's perspective of things for you to know where you're wrong. And I will say, I don't admit when I'm wrong, but sometimes you need that person around that you're allowed, that forces you to say, yes, you're wrong, and yes, you're right, or yes, I understand, and I should have done this instead, I should have done that instead. And so on this topic, I want to talk about, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, but just asking probably questions that you didn't think about, definitely. So one question I would ask myself right now is, am I over certain things that once affected me? And I would say I'm still working on it. If I'm completely honest, healing is a journey. It's not something that happens after 2 months, 3 months of journaling. It's a never-ending journey, because the thing about life and society and the people around you, they don't care how many times. Oh my gosh. No. Why would you do that? The honest truth is, healing is a journey, and you could journal, you could do the shadow work, you could take the hobbies, you could take care of yourself, but that doesn't stop the person next to you from disturbing that journey or disturbing your peace. Basically, what's the word? Definitely, it doesn't take, I'm getting it. It doesn't matter how much journey and it doesn't matter how much healing you think you're doing. It doesn't how much journaling or shadow work or meditation or yoga or all these type of stuff. It just takes one interaction with someone to really make you question, how much have you healed? What am I gonna do? And sometimes you go back to your old self, you go back to the things that once made you comfortable, and you start again. That's the thing about life. It's never too late to start over. So definitely, I'm not over a lot of things. And I didn't know that. I thought I was. Honestly, I did. But I'm being honest, I'm not. Something else I would ask myself deeply is, am I the person that I say I am? Or am I the person that I portray to be? And no, I'm not. I am not. Usually I try to be very upbeat and happy and just like a good positive person to be around, like a good positive energy, but a lot of times I'm not that person that I portray to be. I'm not always happy and not always just positive. There's times where I just pessimistic and I'm like, what's the point? Why do this? Why do that? You work to die. You die. At the end of the day, I don't see the point. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just shut down. It just shows that sometimes things aren't all what they thought up to be. Take everything with a grain of salt, because I know for sure sometimes I can look happy and I've got to figure it out, but I don't have shit figured out. I'm so confused every day. What am I doing? Am I doing this right? Am I wasting time? Should I change this or should I change that? And it gets very frustrating. So I'm definitely going to say I'm not exactly the person that I portray to be. I try to be as my most authentic self, but something that I do a lot of times, I try to be the better versions of me that people will never be able to see, the ugly versions, as in the depressed or the sad, the pessimistic, the unmotivated, the darker sides. And it's not because I'm putting up a front, it's just because I rather portray the happier sides of myself to others than the sadder, the lonelier, the more vulnerable personalities that I could have. And it's mainly because I don't want to be vulnerable. So another question that I want to ask to myself is, will I ever be vulnerable and let someone in? Or what is holding me back from being vulnerable? And I feel like the word vulnerable has always been one of the words that was like the name that shall not be named. When they talk about Harry Potter, that was a word that shall not be used. I hated that word. I always thought like, I want to be vulnerable, I'm not going to be vulnerable, I don't want to let nobody in. And it's mainly because the people or the person that I thought would shelter me, the person that I thought would be there, the person that I thought would not judge me, they did. They disappointed me. And it just made me think that maybe everybody will leave. It just made me think. I just thought everybody will leave. Nobody wants to hear my problems. No one cares. Everybody has their own things going on. So why should I put more in someone else's plate? I don't want to be selfish. I don't want people to be worried about me. I don't want that. It's hard to be vulnerable. And let me tell you, I'm not vulnerable with people. I'm not. I always try to be tough. I always try to be together. I don't break down. I don't cry. I do. It's late at night and the lights are off. I live alone, so no one's there. And be times where I was just like down in the shower crying. It's very embarrassing to say out loud, but it's like to my knees because I've been holding it back for so long and I can't do it anymore. And that's the thing about holding it in and not letting people in at all and just trying to figure things out by yourself on your own all the time. There's going to be a time when you can't take it anymore. And the question is not how but when. It's not how is it going to be, how is it going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. You're not going to know. And a lot of time it's not pretty. It's not pretty when you lash out. It's not pretty when you crash out. It's something that a lot of people judge. They never ask why someone would react the way they do, especially somewhere in public. The phones will come out and then you're trending on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You're everywhere. So definitely. And the last thing for this video essay, I guess, is what do I want to do different? It's a hard question. I feel like there's so many different answers to that. But I believe what I want to do different moving forward is being more honest. And when I say this, I basically mean being more honest with myself, being more honest with the people around me, being more honest about what is, was, and what will be. And when I say that, it's basically not avoiding. Really the word that I want to say. Not being avoidant to a certain situation is hard to talk about, and talking about that. Being honest about how I feel when someone says, "Are you? I'm not doing too well right now. You know, we got some stuff going on, but I feel like I'm gonna make it to Friday." Being more honest when someone asks, "Why do I feel that way?" Or just like being more honest with myself. Like, what are my plans for certain things? Like, being more honest about, like, am I proud of myself? Am I the person that I want to be? Am I taking the steps to be the person that I want to be? And that's the hard part, because you could be honest with other people. You could say straight up, you don't like that top with that skirt. It doesn't complement each other very well. I think you should change it. But for you to be honest with yourself, I think that's where it takes a lot of courage and a lot of discipline to be like, you know what, I don't need to be drinking coffee at 12 a.m. in the morning, because it's probably going to mess up the entire shift I'm going to have to work tomorrow, because I'm not going to get enough sleep. Like, should not be drinking coffee. Be more honest. I should probably start working out again, because I'm not eating as much as I used to. But that doesn't mean that my body doesn't need to be healthy. Just because you're not eating as much, or just because you're eating this, doesn't mean you're not supposed to be active. Be more honest. I have to do more of journaling. I have to name my feelings, because if I don't, then I am going to lose it again. I don't want to. So obviously, if you can see, I have a lot of work to be done. I'm not perfect. I've never said I was. Really, it's just accepting it, saying it out loud, holding myself accountable. Because if I do want to settle down in the future, if I do want to do that, and actually that going on one day, then honestly, the person that I am today, it needs work. It's a lot of work. That's fine. It's perfectly good. The last thing I do want to say to you that's watching this, if you made it this far, is the struggles that you're going through, the situation you're going through doesn't define you, and it will never define you. What defines you is how you make it at the end. And I hate to say this cringy quote, but your problem is temporary. Do not make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Don't make something that's not gonna last forever. It will make you feel like it's all ended, that you end it all, or you just like ever and just like something that you truly regret. And you are loved, because I see you. And if you're not hearing it from anyone else, then you're hearing it from me. This is not supposed to be something really for everyone. If you're actually seeing this, that means it's resonated for you. You're doing great. Yeah, this is like one of the most honest I've been on camera, and it feels good, but honestly I feel like I'm gonna cry, and I don't like that. But it's your bigger sister does, and even bigger sisters do cry sometimes. So it's your bigger sister does, and it's time to say goodbye.